Like all classes, the top row and the first few on the right you unlock for free. Bouncer Mag makes it so that for every 1 point of dex you have in your mag, you also gain 1 melee power and 1 tech power. There are no downsides to using a dex mag, but if you would like to know more about dex mags, I just made a video about it recently. You will need at least 3 points into Dexterity Up 1 to unlock other skills below it. It is never suggested to take any more than that though. Don't worry about these melee and tech power-ups until the level cap raises into the 80s and 90s, as you can get more out of your skill points further down the tree for the time being. If you use Jet Boots, take Jet Boots Focus and Focus Boost below it for 1 point each. Besides gaining access to the focus itself, this will allow you to change your Jet Boots element type to whatever element tech you last charged. And the Focus Boost just increases the rate at which focus accumulates from attacks when you have Shifter or D-Band on, which should be all the time when you use Jet Boots. Jet Boots Escape gives you a third of a second invulnerability at max when normal attacking or using a weapon skill, and this is much more helpful than it may sound. Encore Jump lets you jump after you land an attack while you have Jet Boots on. This can be done indefinitely as long as you keep landing an attack, and have the Jet Boots Focus unlocked. Make sure to take Soaring Blades Focus if you use the Soaring Blades, as this will give you access to the Photon Blades you can throw out with the weapon action. The next two are buff zones you can activate around yourself, known as fields. These affect both you and anyone in the field. Elemental PP Restaurant Field rewards you with an increase to PP recovery when attacking an enemy with its elemental weakness. There are lots of ways to recover PP in this game, so it's usually not taken. Usually when it is, it's for a more specific build type and also when having more skill points available with the higher level caps. Critical Field raises crit rate by 30% at max. This is generally just really nice to have, and it's also really nice to be able to share it with others around you too. Field Remain allows the two previously mentioned fields to maintain on players as a 30-second buff after they leave the field. Due to the cooldown of the fields only being 30 seconds at max, this will allow for a 100% uptime on the fields, all for only 1 skill point. Perfect Recovery PP Gain recovers a set amount of PP when performing a perfect recovery. This is usually not worth spending your points on, but if you do put any points into this, I'd only put about 1 because at 1 it still gives you a whole 10% back. Shift to Air Attack grants 5% more damage at max when attacking in the air while under the effect of Shifter. As a bouncer, you should just about always have Shifter on, and will be in the air a lot, so this will be a nice bonus to have. D-Band Attack PP Restaurant allows you to recover more PP when normal attacking while under the effect of D-Band, which just like Shifter, should almost always be on you as a bouncer, so this is usually maxed out too. Heal Sharing will heal others near you 4% of how much HP you recover. This can be very strong, even with 2 or 3 points invested into it, as you can use this with Megaverse. Healing Bonus simply raises the amount of HP you heal for up to 15% at max, and this usually is not worth your points unless you're going for a more specialized type of build. Rapid Boost is an active skill that greatly buffs your Jet Boots' PA charge speed and slightly increases the tech cast speed too. Its modifier, Rapid Boost Perfect Attack Bonus, grants up to 15% more damage to perfect attacks when the Rapid Boost buff is active. Max these two if you use the Jet Boots. Elemental Burst will do a small explosion of damage when cancelling your current element on your Jet Boots by pressing the weapon action without any directional input. This isn't usually taken unless it's for a more specific type of build. Switch Strike changes your Jet Boots PAs from scaling from tech power to striking power. This is an absolute must if you are using a melee mag or a melee build in general with Jet Boots. Photon Blade Fever is a Soaring Blades active buff that doubles the amount of Photon Blades created for its duration. Its modifier below it further increases said Photon Blades damage by another 30%. These two are pretty mandatory if you use the Photon Blades. Photon Blades Escape grants a short invulnerability when moving with the weapon action that creates Photon Blades. This offers some nice survivability and should be looked into. Lastly, we have our 2 stances, which you can usually take both of. However, you don't need to max the stance criticals as you get a lot of crit from your critical field. Elemental Stance and its Stance Up together give you about 30% damage when you either match a tech or your weapon's element to an elemental's weaknesses, and 15% when it's not. Break Stance and its Stance Up together give about 45% extra damage when attacking a breakable part on an enemy, and no bonus when not attacking one. However, Break Stance D bonus allows Soaring Blades to end up doing about 30% damage to non-breakable parts. That being said, if you use Soaring Blades, this is a must for only 1 point. That being said, you actually don't really need elemental stance if you plan to only ever go soaring blades, but it's really nice to have access to both stances and both weapons to use at endgame. And that's about it for Bouncer skill tree. Be sure to check out the description for an example of a generic build, similar to what you saw in the video, but also with different subclasses skill trees filled out too. Take care.